Imagine waking up tomorrow and your biggest international buyer has just pulled out. Not because your furniture isn't top tier, but because of a missing piece of paper, literally. Okay, let's dive into this explainer and completely demystify the roadmap to FSC certification for Vietnam's wood and furniture manufacturers. Look, if your business buys, processes, or sells wood products, you already know the deal. Navigating international sustainability standards isn't just some nice-to-have marketing badge anymore. It is the absolute baseline expectation if you want to survive in the global market. We've got a really packed agenda today. We're going to cover the export challenge, define what the FSC actually is, decode those tricky labels, navigate the upcoming EUDR regulations, walk through the 5 practical steps to certification, and finally, look at how to avoid the most common pitfalls. Let's kick things off with Section 1, the export challenge. To understand why everyone is suddenly panicking over certifications, we have to look at the sheer scale of the stakes here. Vietnam's wood and wood product exports are projected to hit a mind-blowing $17 billion by 2025. Just let that sink in for a second. To put that into perspective, that is an almost unfathomable amount of raw material. We're talking enough wood to literally build a bridge across the entire globe. With a footprint that massive in the global supply chain, international regulators are paying incredibly close attention to where every single splinter of that wood is coming from. And here is why that matters specifically to you. A whopping 61% of that export value comes from furniture, which relies heavily on access to the EU, US, and Japanese markets. To protect that massive revenue stream, producers absolutely must meet the strict responsible sourcing demands of these global buyers. Think about it. Major retailers aren't just asking for sustainable wood nicely anymore. Driven by intense consumer pressure and strict ESG goals, these demands are now literally hard-coded into their procurement software. If you don't have the right certification, their system physically won't let them buy from you. You're screened out before you can even negotiate a price. So if buyers are throwing up roadblocks, what exactly is the golden ticket they're looking for? Let's move to Section 2. What is FSC? You've definitely seen their signature tree-and-checkmark logo on everything from milk cartons to office desks. But what exactly is the Forest Stewardship Council when you strip away all the marketing fluff? And more importantly, what does it actually mean for your daily operations? While the FSC is an independent, nonprofit organization that ensures wood products come from forests managed to protect biodiversity, workers, and local communities. But for you as a manufacturer, it's not just about hugging trees. It's about rigorous, airtight accounting. They provide a comprehensive traceability system that verifies material is credibly tracked from the exact moment a tree is felled in the forest all the way to your finished product. It's essentially a mathematical proof of origin. And their global impact is absolutely massive. We're talking over 165 million hectares of forests certified worldwide. To give you a sense of scale, that's an area of land larger than the entire country of Mongolia. It's an incredibly robust, multi-stakeholder system trusted across the globe to balance environmental protection with serious economic viability. Now, here's a crucial distinction you need to understand right out of the gate: forest management versus chain of custody certification. Think of it like this. Forest management, or FM, is for the lumberjack. It proves the actual forest itself is managed responsibly. But as a manufacturer, or exporter, you need chain of custody, or COC. That is for the factory floor. It proves your facility correctly identifies certified material when it hits your loading dock, keeps it totally separate from non-certified stuff during production, and tracks it perfectly through manufacturing and sales.
All right, let's jump to Section 3, Understanding FSC Labels.
So you've tracked the wood perfectly through your factory. How does that translate to the final sticker on a chair sitting in a showroom? There are 3 distinct labels you'll see. First, FSC 100% means exactly what it sounds like. Every single piece of wood in that item came from an FSC certified forest. Then there's FSC mix, which is super common in manufacturing. Since getting 100% certified wood for complex furniture is genuinely really tough, this is a blend of certified material, reclaimed content, or strictly vetted controlled material. Controlled material basically means uncertified wood that's still been vetted to ensure it wasn't harvested illegally. And finally, FSC recycled, which means the product is made entirely from reclaimed post-consumer or pre-consumer content. Now we really need to talk about Section 4, Navigating the EUDR. This is the massive regulatory shift that turns FSSC from a nice marketing badge into an absolute commercial necessity. The EU Deforestation Regulation, or EUDR, requires you to mathematically prove that any wood entering the European Union market is completely deforestation-free and legally harvested. Guys, this isn't some voluntary green building scheme. This is a strict, inescapable legal requirement to access one of the world's largest consumer markets. Fail to comply, and the consequences are brutal. We're talking massive fines, lasting reputational damage, and your goods literally seized and held at the border. No thank you. And this isn't some distant, theoretical problem for the future. The clock is officially ticking. Strict compliance deadlines hit large and medium enterprises by December 30th, 2026, and smaller businesses by June 30th, 2027. Following recent amendments, those are the hard deadlines. You must have your traceability systems flawlessly operational before those dates hit. To help businesses out, the FSC introduced a specific regulatory module that heavily streamlines your due diligence. But, and this is a massive but, while it dramatically shortens your path to compliance, it does not replace the separate geolocation data requirement. Getting the exact GPS coordinates of a specific tree stump in a remote forest is a total logistical headache. The FSC gives you a huge head start on the paperwork, for sure, but you still need those exact GPS coordinates to fully satisfy the EU regulations.
Okay, so the deadlines are terrifying and the requirements are strict. Let's get into Section 5, Steps to Certification. How do you actually get your factory floor up to code? Well, we've condensed the journey into 5 manageable phases. You start with a scope and gap analysis. This is usually where companies realize just how messy their current paperwork really is. Next is system design, setting up your procedures and your volume accounting, essentially ensuring the volume of certified wood you buy perfectly matches the volume of certified furniture you sell. The math simply has to align. Phase 3 is training and implementation, which is absolutely vital. Then you run a mock audit to catch any glaring errors before the real inspectors show up. And finally, you pass the official audit to lock in that 5-year certification.
But before you rush off to start your gap analysis, let's look at Section 6, Avoiding Common Pitfalls.
You really want to get this right the first time. The most common things that fail audits: accidentally mixing materials on the factory floor, using the wrong invoice codes, messing up your volume tracking, misusing the trademark, or simply having untrained staff. You would be shocked how often a company fails simply because a well-meaning employee didn't realize they couldn't source certified and non-certified bamboo in the exact same unmarked pile, or because the sales team got a little too eager and started printing the FSC logo on marketing materials before the certification was officially approved. It happens all the time, but it's completely preventable with solid system design and dedicated internal training.
To wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a gut check question. Does your business actually have the systems in place today to survive the global market requirements of tomorrow? Because in this new regulatory landscape, a perfectly crafted chair without a credible paper trail is literally just a piece of wood stuck at customs. Implementing chain of custody certification isn't just about passing an audit or getting a piece of paper. It is a vital investment to protect your access to global markets and to build a resilient, transparent supply chain that buyers can actually trust completely. So, are you ready to secure your place in the global market?